I'm Lauren with Pack Hacker, and in this video we're taking a detailed look at the Eagle Creek Packet Reveal Hanging Toiletry Kit, which I've been testing for the last 2 weeks. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe so we can keep making content to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. The outside of this guy is pretty simple. So it's just this little slightly rectangular box, but all of the magic happens on the inside. So there's no like external storage pockets or anything like that. Sometimes toiletry bags will have like a little zippered pocket on the front or the back or something for you to put flat items, whatever, but all of the storage is on the inside, so that could be great for you, could not be, kind of up to you. On the outside here, we see this little hanging hook. Usually these hanging hooks are on the inside of a hanging toiletry bag. I personally like that this one is on the outside. I think one of the issues I run into when they're on the inside is that they kind of just, for lack of a better phrase, hang out in there, and they don't really have a great spot to secure. Sometimes they'll like tuck away in the back or something like that, but I kind of like that this is just, if it's adding extra weight by adding this hanging hook, it might as well have an additional function. So what this does is it just sort of secures that down, and then here you can see it covers the zipper. While that is a additional barrier to get on the inside there, it's not like it's that big of a deal to hook it. You can always leave it unhooked if you wanted to, though it would just kind of flap around in general. But the material here feels really durable. It's 100% recycled 300D polyester, Blue Sign certified as well, which is great. It's washable, water resistant, so all the things that you look for in a toiletry bag, and it's just, you know, overall a pretty simple design here. It does stand up on its own as well, which is really great. Not that you really need this a ton, but it is a pretty big toiletry bag. It's 7 liters of capacity overall. And then on the side here, we have these zoom zippers. They kind of unzip at this angle, which I'll show you once we get into the inside. And then they have these little paracord zipper pulls, which are great for grabbing. Eagle Creek calls them climbing rope inspired pullers, which makes me laugh. It's just paracord basically. And then we have this top carry handle here, which you can use this to either just like grab it in and out of or grab it from your bag, or you can hang it up using this as well. So it's kind of up to you how you want to display all of your toiletries. Now getting into the actual inside. So we're going to unhook that really quick and then unzip these zippers. So like I mentioned before, they unzip at this angle. So what that actually does is give you, like, instead of being split down the middle and having 2 kind of shallower buckets, this gives you 2 larger buckets that fold on top of each other and create this sort of like, it's like when you stack 2 triangles on top of each other and then they create a rectangle. So with this here, it opens up pretty simple, and then you can see that this bottom or the base of this side here is larger, and then it's basically like a mirror image of itself, I guess you could say. And so what we have here on this side is a zippered pocket that is mesh. You can see inside pretty nice and easy. And then what I ended up doing was just basically putting any sort of like makeup items in here. If I didn't have a ton, and you can see there's not a ton in here right now, this side really felt like overkill to me. I just didn't think that there was a ton of, I guess, like, there was more space than I needed. And like I said, this is a 7-liter toiletry bag, and so for me, I travel pretty minimally, but if you're gonna be carrying larger bottles or items, this is gonna be really great. So if you had like a full size, like sunscreen or something like that, you wanted to bring all of your full-size bottles, this side's going to be really great for that because you do have so much space. Or if you're like combining toiletries with people you're traveling with, that's a really great option. But for me, you can see I just have like a ton of space in here that's just unused, which means that when this is zipped up, it's not going anywhere, but it is just kind of flying all over the place. So it wasn't a great solution for me personally, but it does have its functionality depending on your needs. On the other side here, we have a couple of different storage options. We have one zippered shallow pocket that's also mesh. I have in here a toothbrush and toothpaste, so that fits in nicely. You can also stick this in this side, again, kind of depends on your preferences. I'm just gonna tuck that off to the side for now. But this is also really great if you have like tweezers, or sometimes I would put the makeup brushes in here if I wanted to kind of keep them separate from the rest of my stuff and just keep the bristles a little bit nicer. So again, kind of a preference thing, but you do have a decent amount of space in here, even though it is a shallower pocket. And then on the other side here, you have 3 elastic pockets and then an open space to put additional items. So this is where the storage for me got a little bit clunky as well. I have some examples. I have like a deodorant in here, and then a larger tin bottle. I'm just gonna actually leave those in there, and then some soap. And so those fit really nicely. I think this is like this material here. This, you can see that with that stitching, it gives it a little bit of a like gusset, which means that it can pack out pretty far. So when you have something wider, it fits nice and easily in there. I was able to fit like a full-size deodorant like this one in there. But then what that ends up doing is the larger the item is that you put in these, the harder it's gonna be to get something in this pocket here. So for example, we have these Go tubes here, which are really great. They're our go-to, and they fit nicely, but they fit like in between in these little gap areas. You can see like where the toiletry items aren't is basically where these go, which means that you can really only fit 2. Because if you start stacking them up on top, then you're going to, I'm going to pull this actually this way. You can see how much it starts to raise above, and then as that raises above, then it can start to cut into space on this side here. Granted, if this side here isn't completely packed out, then you do have extra space to work with. So it's definitely like most toiletry bags, just depends on what you're carrying. With this here, because it is that 7-liter capacity, and it is just such like a bulky, I guess it's like a bulky little package. Well, it's not little because it's bulky, but it's a pretty decently sized package. So for me, it was a little bit overkill. Didn't really need this much space for myself. But if you're going to be carrying a lot of gear, or you're going to be sharing a toiletry bag with whoever you're traveling with, then this is a really great option in terms of organization, and it just folds up into this nice little package. So there you have it, the Eagle Creek Packet Reveal Hanging Toiletry Kit. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.